of learning accounting for non-profit organization. This is the step 2, the type 2, where you're identifying what type of expense it is. Okay, they come with different heads, namely printing expense or printing and postage expense, printing and stationery expense, or just stationery, or upkeep of grounds, repairs, or charity, or subscription to newspapers, subscription to journals, newspapers, meeting and refreshment expenses, office or general expenses, functions. They come in different heads. I've tried to bring most of the heads which can appear in the exam in one place for ease of understanding. So it's a two-step process. Let me get it a little closer so you can see it. It's basically any heading you find it, you ask yourself, is it a capital expense or it's a revenue expense? As you can see, there's a cross mark. This is not a capital expense. It is a revenue expense. A revenue expense is that expense which is done in order to run the business, in order to carry out the business. So, like stationery, you buy stationery for office use. So, it is an expense which you do it in order to run the normal functioning of the office. It could be for printouts or the paper which you use for printouts, all tops, stapler, various stationery that you may buy. Okay, or you may send some parcels, so postage will fall under that, so on and so forth. So basically the question you are asking is it a capital or a revenue expense? It is a revenue expense. So your answer is yes. So the flow chart will follow this way. Then obviously in this case, this is a category where you would not have any entry in adjustments or in the balance sheet. So straight away you will go and write whatever particular expense it is, you write it in the outer column. The same thing has been done here as well. Office expense, or yeah, as you can see, everywhere newspaper amount. Let me show you a real time entry. Now over here, this is what I'm talking about. By printing and postage expense 600. So as you notice, there is no entry over here in the adjustments, and there is no entry in the balance sheet, previous year's balance sheet. So this entry is a capital expense. It will come in the payment side. It will I'm sorry, it's not a capital expense, it's a revenue expense. You write it in the outer column. Okay, now salary over here, yes, there is an entry, salary prepaid, so we cannot take that. But per subscription to newspapers, so there is no adjustment over here. So this is an entry which you have to go and write in the expenditure side and in the outer column straight away. This is what uh, this flowchart is talking about. Here it is a two-step process. First, it'll ask whether you have to ask yourself whether it is a capital or revenue expense. It is a revenue expense, and then whatever the amount is given in the payment side, you will write it in the expenditure side on the outer column. So that's the